Hi, this is Steve Lentini, and I'm your host for this podcast, Different Thinking for Different Times. Waking up in life is part of the discussion that I've been having about having different thinking for different times. And waking up is about operating from a level of thinking above your thinking. That, after all, who is the thinker of the thought? You can believe the finite acorn brain if you've listened to previous podcasts, as I call it, or the little fucker, that voice within us all that drags us down or wants us to enroll ourselves in that we're not enough or that we're better than others or less than others or that we're right and everyone else is wrong. And you can look for all kinds of examples of it in society and see it everywhere, right? In one side making the other wrong in politics or in race relations or in sexual preferences or in marriages, right? One spouse makes the others wrong, and then it leads to a breakdown in the relationship. And so, all small-minded thinking leads to a breakdown in relationship, whether it's at work or in society or in a relationship at home or with children. It doesn't matter where. It's small-minded thinking that has us asleep and believing our automatic thought, which leads to the automatic response. And so, why am I bothering to teach it? You can read about waking up in my book. Go to my website, Steve Lentini, LENTINI.com, Steve Lentini, LENTINI.com, and download a free copy of my book, Wake Up, Jump Into Your Life. I wrote it with my friend and coach at one time, Paul Scolio, and he wrote all the questions and exercises, and I wrote the book based on my experience after my near-death experience, after my experience of being one with the infinite, one with everything and nothing. And of course, what we carry around in our mind is really so small. It's amazing, and you'll get a chance to see that when you pass away, when you move from this to what's next, because there is no death, and you'll get to see just how small-minded our thinking was and that we needed it here, right? This is how we learn and grow, by overcoming all these small-minded thoughts, all these judgments, all judgments of others, and all making others wrong is really a wasted energy. And I smile as I say it because I've seen the infinite. I've been one with it. And truly, we have a wonderful experience waiting for us. I certainly hope it's not tonight or in the next hour for you. But then again, why live in fear, right? We have this coronavirus thing going on, and the invitation. So many people are afraid to die. And well, guess what? You're not going to avoid it. And what the prophets have said, what reaches us was meant for us, and what misses us wasn't meant for us, right? So you don't have anything to fear. Get out there and live your life. Let's all get back to work and avoid this craziness. And remember, politicians, we decide who's going to lead us. They don't decide. And have a say. Speak up and get back to work and get your business open. And let's live and not live afraid of dying. And a society government shouldn't be protecting us from death, but making sure there's health care available. And you know what? It's been clearly demonstrated that with thousands of beds installed at the Javits Center and in Chicago and in many cities that weren't utilized, along with the Navy ships, we know we live in a miracle, and we just have to have faith that we're going through an experience that's asking us to reset, to let go of what we can't control. And of course, politicians want to control it. They love it. And this is what they get paid to do. And it's funny that they're getting paid. I haven't seen a one that renounced their pay during this. I mean, we know of examples of politicians. President Trump, for example, doesn't accept his pay, and and there are probably others that haven't accepted their pay. But during this, There's no one that's at the microphone every night, like in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut. Those that I know of, Pennsylvania, they have not renounced their paycheck. And so they're deciding for people who, keeping people out of work. I mean, it's over 30 million people. And then you add in all the people in businesses that are impacted. Control is small-minded, right? You look at China and the Soviet Union and Venezuela, small-minded thinkers are running those countries because they're afraid. They fear that their populace being free. Even Obama said that the average person cannot be left to their own devices to decide what's best in their life. I mean, those are finite, small-minded thoughts. And it doesn't mean they're finite, small-minded thinkers, but those are examples of small-minded, acorn brain thinking. And we've got to break through. That's our job in life, is to not be afraid of dying, because there is a what's next. I happen to know it because I was there. And for those of you that don't know it, it's called faith. It's called faith. And whatever you believe created this thing that we live in called a universe. I mean, it's amazing. We live in a miracle. So find some things to be grateful for in the moment, because that's, after all, that's all we've been promised. Find those around you, right? People and your family and your mother and father and clients. And there's so many things to be grateful for. People that have impacted your life and made a difference for you. And then go out and do good, because that's what was etched onto the fabric of time. When I was on the other side, the only mention was of the lives I had touched, the good I had done. So go do good. Remember how you feel when you do good, and work to overcome all your judgments. Start to notice them. Journal about them, or just make a note in your mind mentally. Observe yourself in the supermarket today, or at work, or with coworkers on conference calls, and just be amazed at all the little small-minded judgment thoughts that you have. And then remember, who's the thinker of the thought? Work to overcome it, and you'll be amazed at what happens in your life, that you can make a big difference in other people's lives. Not by helping them, but by not judging others. Let everyone else have their journey. After all, their journey is none of your business, and your journey is none of their business. So keep working to make the world a better place by changing yourself and changing your small-minded thinking and overcoming it. And do good, and watch what happens. Look at how you feel. And if we were all doing good and working to leave everything and everyone a little better in every moment, imagine what a world it would be. And stop railing against the world and telling a story about how it could be changed. Just change yourself. Because after all, that's the message that life is giving you. When you're upset about anything, it's because you haven't found the 2x4 in your own eye. You're looking for the splinter in someone else's eye. So have fun, change yourself, and look at how you can become the observer of your thinking and start to change. Thanks. Any questions? Steve at stevelentini.com. Email me, Steve at stevelentini.com. And you want to come on the podcast and challenge me, or have your own experience of a near-death experience, of your own experience of what's next, as opposed to croaking or leaving the world or dying, as so many people are afraid of. Come on, call me. We'll do a conference call, and you'll be on the podcast. Thanks again. See you next week. This is Season 2, Episode 17. Thanks.